nobody saw it coming.
I like to think of myself as a very flexible person. I don't have to have one specific way, and if the world changes, I go the same way.
The world assumed Donald Trump would not try to challenge Bashar Assad, at least not at such an early stage in his presidency. But something caused a drastic change.
A chemical attack that was so horrific in Syria against innocent people, including women, small children, and even beautiful little babies.
59 cruise missiles were launched on April 7th at the Shairat Air Base in the Homs Governorate in Syria, a warning that further chemical attacks would not be tolerated. The strike has thrown the Trump administration's relationship with Russia into question. There were mixed reactions at home, and even in the White House, not everyone was happy. In Israel, it was a different story.
This has been appreciated around the world and in our region.
Some expressed concern over the president's ability to change his mind so completely in such a short period of time.
My attitude is that everything will be judged based on performance. There were other presidents that changed their mind about attacking Syria, and the outcome was tragic.
For now, though, further conflict with the regime is not expected. On the ground in Syria, the U.S. has up to 1,000 troops supporting local militias as they prepare to liberate the city of Raqqa, the de facto capital of the so-called Islamic State. The U.S. military says that Syrian Arab troops will be doing most of the fighting in order to avoid the kind of sectarian strife seen elsewhere in the past. The operation is expected to begin by summertime.
We're joined now in the studio by our senior defense correspondent, Shai Ben-ari.
Sure.
Shai, it's a few weeks later now. What exactly did that strike on Syria accomplish?
Right. I think this whole incident was both an inconvenience to a degree for the Trump administration and also something of an opportunity. Trump certainly wasn't planning on confronting Assad like this. He envisioned, I think, a smoother start to this whole issue of Syria in terms of his administration, and it has certainly complicated his relationship with Russia, as mentioned in the piece. On the other hand, I think there was a real opportunity for him to, first of all, distance himself from all the talk at home, the political discourse about his connections to the Kremlin. This may have something to do with political considerations at home, but regionally, I think there was a real opportunity here for the U.S. to assert its influence, and I think it has done that in this part of the world, a statement basically saying we're still here, and I think that statement was very highly appreciated, as we heard, here in Israel, but not only in Israel. If you talk about regional partners of the U.S., the Sunni moderate axis, as it's often known, Egypt, Jordan, Saudi Arabia, the Gulf states, maybe even Turkey could be thrown in there. There was a lot of disappointment in all of these countries in terms of what was perceived as a withdrawal from the region in terms of American influence under the Obama administration.
Shai, does this incident point to broader U.S. involvement toward ending the conflict in Syria than even candidate Trump was willing to consider?
I think it certainly goes a step beyond what he was considering during the campaign, or at least talking about. He will be hoping to avoid another confrontation with Assad. Certainly, another chemical attack or chemical incident would be a big problem for him because there is now a big red line in the sand. The Trump administration will be focusing their efforts now towards the fight against IS, and it will be very interesting to see exactly how big of an American involvement, a military involvement on the ground in terms of the operation to liberate Raqqa.
Shai Ben-ari, thank you.